Hello guys, welcome back to Joe Talks. Some parts of this video have been recorded a couple months back. So if you notice me wearing a different shirt at certain parts of the video, it's because they were already recorded and I never got around to re-editing it. But without further ado, I am going to be telling you about my predictions for Waves 5 and 6 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pass. I've been a fan of the series since I had Mario Kart Wii as a kid, and that has always been my favorite, but I have gotten a lot more accustomed to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I also love Mario Kart DS, and I kind of like Mario Kart 7. Haven't really played it too much. So right now I'm on MarioPartyLegacy.com, and this is a godsend sort of a website because they've been keeping track of every possible thing that has to do with the Booster Course Pass. So if we look here, there are confirmed characters, just Birdo. Likely characters, which we will discuss much later into the video. Confirmed courses, which I'll go over in a second. Likely courses, which I will be predicting. And then I'll use prefix data mines, banner data mines, and music data mines in order to support my points. Not all of my guesses are going to be supported by these though, because I do want tracks to be in the Booster Course Pass that are probably not going to make it in. I just really want to see those tracks back. So let's get started. I pulled up the prefix leak picture from when the booster course was first released. Now, as you can see here, they have all of these labels from each game for each of these cups. And what ended up happening was Wave 2 was exactly as advertised by the prefix leak. Wave 4 was also the same, but the tracks were switched around. And Wave 3 was almost right, but a double dash track over here in the Moon Cup was replaced with Maple Treeway in the Rock Cup, essentially. So, now, how do we calculate what tracks could end up in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Well, some theorists have devised a method by counting what tracks are left for the last 4 cups, and then adding one double dash track and subtracting one Mario Kart Wii track to make it equal. So by that logic, there's 5 Mario Kart Tour tracks, 4 Nitro tracks, new tracks, 3 double dash tracks, 2 Wii tracks, an SNES track, and a Super Circuit track on the way. Now, I'm not saying they're wrong. They're probably most likely correct in that assumption, but there's really only one new Nitro track not in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that is for sure coming to Wave 5 or Wave 6, which I'll talk about later. Let's get into the likely courses that could get into Waves 5 and 6 that most people have talked about. It is highly likely that Vancouver Velocity, Los Angeles Laps, Piranha Plant Cove, the track that I mentioned earlier, the new Nitro track, and the newly released and revealed Athens Dash are highly likely to end up in 8 Deluxe. And honestly, I think so too. I mean, it can't be a coincidence that Athens Dash was released shortly after Wave 4 of the 8 Deluxe DLC. Wave 4. Because Athens, or more specifically Greece, the country of which Athens is the capital, is highly associated with fevers. So, there's a very high chance that Athens Dash is going to be 1 to 2 tour tracks in the Feather Cup in Wave 5. And I think that is a very reasonable assumption to make. There is also Los Angeles Labs, a track that was originally a shoe-in for Wave 4 until it got replaced with Bangkok Rush. Now, I still think it's going to end up in the a Deluxe DLC, particularly in Wave 5, as Los Angeles does look like it's associated with summer, while Vancouver Velocity is associated with winter and would be more likely to be in Wave 6, as Wave 5 is rumored to come out in summer 2023, and Wave 6 is going to be released holiday winter 2023. And then Piranha Plant Cove, I don't know which wave they're going to put it in, but probably Wave 5, since it has been out and it's been on tour for a while. Now, let's get into some other tracks that fans want to see back. Now, according to the Banner League, no, not the Banner League, according to the Prefix League, there's going to be one more SNES track. I'm not quite sure if that's true, because out of the 4 potential Nitro tracks, there's only one that's been revealed. And while, yes, there are details in the data mine that there's going to be an upcoming DK track and bathroom track, please don't quote me on that. Essentially, we still only have one Nitro track, and the other 3 are completely unknown. I don't doubt that there's going to be a Nitro track in Wave 6 and one in Wave 5, but those other 2 supposed Nitro tracks, until proven for sure, I'm going to assume could be just about anything. Now, this might not seem logical, but it's my prediction. If you want to make predictions, then go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments. And I don't know, I just really want to talk about what new tracks could come up. I'm just a big Mario Kart fan, guys. Now, for potential SNES tracks, these tracks are already in Mario Kart Tour. Ghost Valleys 1 and 2, Choco Island 1, 2, Kuba Beach 2, and Vanilla Lake 1 and 2. Now, I really don't want any of these to be in the Booster Course Pass. Now, let me explain. We already have Choco Mountain from N64 Mario Kart in Wave 1, so it would be redundant to add a Choco Island track. And then we got Boo Lake from Super Circuit in Wave 3, so while I would like to see a Ghost Valley track, it's highly unlikely. That leaves Vanilla Lakes 1 and 2 and Koopa Beach 2, but if you'll remember, all the way back in Wave 1, you can see an advertisement for Vanilla Lake on Coconut Mall. The Vanilla Lake ad shows up twice on the track, while there's a Dino Dino Jungle ad from Double Dash also there right next to the Vanilla Lake ad. Okay, side tangent. How many Vanilla Lake ads are in Coconut Mall? So that could mean Vanilla Lake is probably the biggest shoe-in for the Booster Course Pass. However, I kind of want a Bowser's Castle track. And here's why. There's only one Bowser's Castle track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And it's the one that was released since the very beginning. You know, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's own Bowser's Castle. There hasn't been a single Bowser's Castle track added since. And we currently have 3 Rainbow Road tracks. That is insanity. Please excuse my past self, he has no idea what he's talking about. There are 4 Rainbow Roads. Obviously the one from Mario Kart 8, but then also SNES, N64, and 3DS. But back on topic. Ever since I filmed that original segment, they added in Bowser's Castle 3 from SNES, and now I think I might have been right. Hopefully, Bowser Castle 3 will make it in. I would rather take that than Vanilla Lakes 1 and 2. I don't know why they have those Vanilla Lake advertisements. Maybe it just means that they acknowledge they exist and they probably won't come back. But if that's true, then Dino Dino Jungle isn't coming back, so I really don't know what to believe. But back to Past Me. Now, it is highly unlikely there's going to be any more N64 tracks, but of the ones in Tour, there are Luigi Raceway, Koopa Troopa Beach, and Frappe Snowland that aren't yet in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's highly unlikely any of these are going to be added, because while I love Koopa Troopa Beach, Luigi Raceway is just Luigi Raceway, and Frappe Snowland is another snow track. And I don't think we want another snow track. So before I continue with the GBA tracks, I just wanted to let you know that my archive channel is going to contain clips of what the original version of this video looked like. So you can watch those as well and see what my thoughts were about 2 months ago when I originally started recording this. Alright, back to the video. Bowser's Castle 1 through 4, Cheep Cheep Island, Sunset Wilds, Yoshi Desert, and Peach Circuit. While I'd love for more than one of these tracks to come back, I already know it's going to be Sunset Wilds, and here's why. According to both the banner leak and the music leak, Sunset Wilds is already somewhat programmed into the game. There's a remix for Sunset Wilds in the music data mine, and in the banner data mine, Sunset Wilds is one of the only 2 tracks to have not shown up yet, the other being Koopa Cape for Wii, which I will discuss in a moment. But yeah, if Sunset Wilds doesn't get in against all logic, I'm kind of hoping it's Yoshi Desert or Cheep Cheep Island, because the main series games have not seen tracks like those in a while. I mean, it could also be one of the 4 Bowser castles if, God forbid, Vanilla Lake gets in, but I highly doubt that. Hey guys, another shirt change, this time in the future. So yesterday was when I recorded the N64 and GBA track parts. I literally just came back, and now Mario Raceway from N64 and Luigi Circuit from Super Circuit have been added. My opinions have not changed, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Hey guys, I changed shirts again, hopefully for the last time. So anyways, now onto Double Dash tracks. We've got Dino Dino Jungle, Daisy Cruiser, DK Mountain, and Mushroom Bridge. Now, Dino Dino Jungle is in a similar position to Vanilla Lake, I think, because again, there's ads for Dino Dino Jungle in Coconut Mall, so I don't know if it's at a similar place that it is, but whatever the case is, it is a very popular track to come back, to be moved from Tour into 8 Deluxe. There's also Daisy Cruiser, which is far more likely because Wave 5 is going to be released this summer, and out of all these tracks, Daisy Cruiser screams summer more than any of the other Double Dash tracks. But there's also DK Mountain and Mushroom Bridge, which just got added to Tour, I think last month. But yeah, out of all these tracks, definitely Daisy Cruiser. And I know we already have Shroom Bridge, but I want Mushroom Bridge. I want to drive on the bridge, goddammit. I want Mushroom Bridge. And if we can't get it, it's probably Dino Dino Jungle. Now moving on to a fan favorite of the series, Mario Kart DS. According to the prefix leak, there might not be any more DS tracks coming in, but if there were, the possible ones in Tour that could come to Switch are Luigi's Mansion, DK Pass, and Airship Fortress. Personally, they just added DK Summit in Wave 4, also known as DK Snowboard Cross, but yeah, we're probably not going to see DK Pass in this DLC. I do like Luigi's Mansion, but there is already a battle course of Luigi's Mansion in the game. I think it was pulled from Double Dash, but anyways, that leaves us with Airship Fortress, which would be my pick for the DS track to come back. Now for my personal favorite growing up, Mario Kart Wii. There are 4 possible tracks that could be brought in: Koopa Cape, Dry Dry Ruins, Rainbow Road, and the newly added Daisy Circuit. Now, while I would like for Dry Dry Ruins and Daisy Circuit to get in, I do not think it's possible. I think it's going to be Koopa Cape and Rainbow Road. Let me show you why. So, for the banner leak, Koopa Cape, as I mentioned earlier, is the other track on the leak that has yet to come in. So if that doesn't get in, I will be kind of sad, but hey, that's the way the cookie would crumble. And then my reasoning for Rainbow Road is because the Wave 6 says that a Wii track is going to be the last track in the Spiny Shell Cup. What is usually the last track in the last cup of a Mario Kart game? A Rainbow Road. So obviously we're gonna get Wii Rainbow Road back. I do wish that Dry Dry Ruins and Daisy Circuit could make it in, but we only have a limited number of tracks left. And honestly, I don't really believe we're gonna get 3 more Wii tracks and 3 more Double Dash tracks. Like, it just seems very unlikely to me. On to Mario Kart 7. There's 7 3DS tracks in Tour that could make it into a Deluxe, but it's highly unlikely since, due to the prefix leak, there is no chance any of them will make it into either Waves 5 or 6. On the off chance that they would, the following tracks are Daisy Hills, Cheep Cheep Lagoon, Shy Guy Bazaar, my personal favorite, Mario Circuit, Wario Shipyard, underrated classic, Rosalina's Ice World, please no, and Bowser's Castle. So what tracks do I think will make it into Waves 5 and 6? Well, we don't have all 5 Tour City tracks, so I'm gonna use my best guesses for those. And we only have 1 Nitro track, so same thing with that. But I am going to provide my best guesses with clues that we have from all the leaks and all of the likely courses I've talked about. Let's begin with Wave 5, because that one's a bit easier to figure out than Wave 6 at the current moment. So, for Wave 5, the first track that I think they will have is likely Athens Dash. Again, Athens is the main capital of Greece. Greece is associated with fevers. It's a slam dunk. It could also be the last track if the Fever Cup has more than 1 tour track, but I'm pretty sure it does. So, Athens first track, I am very confident with that. Second track, if the prefix leak is right, it's most likely Koopa Cape. Koopa Cape is on the banner leak, and if it doesn't get in, it's safe to say that Daisy Circuit or Dry Dry Ruins could also be in the spot, but for my money, it has to be Koopa Cape. We've already gotten all the hints, there's no way this can't be in here. The next track would be Sunset Wilds from Super Circuit. Again, part of the banner leak. but also in the music data mine. So if this isn't in there, I don't know what to tell you again. And then finally, for the Feather Cup, LA Labs. Hear me out on this one. We don't have all the tour tracks yet. The tour city tracks and the tour nitro tracks, we don't have them all yet. We only have 3 out of the 5. And I would assume that Nintendo wants us to wait for any new tracks that they may be developing behind the scenes. If that's the case, the best thing they can do here is release the ones they already have ready. So my wager is that LA Labs will be either the first track of the Cherry Cup or the last track of the Feather Cup. It could also be the first track of the Feather Cup, but I think Athens Dash just works a heck of a lot better. Now, moving on to the Cherry Cup. Vancouver Velocity might as well just start the Cherry Cup. It's the last Tour City track we have, and Nintendo has not made any new ones. I would prefer if this is in Wave 6 because it's a very wintry track, and it will work better since Wave 6 is going to be released during the holidays. So, honestly, I hope this doesn't come out for Wave 5. I want to be wrong about this. But if I'm right, it's gonna start us off with the Cherry Cup. Now for something I am much more confident in. Daisy Cruiser being the next track. I mean, why wouldn't you want to ride on Daisy's own special cruise line? It's most likely going to be the Mario Kart 7 version of the track with added stuff in there, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, this just screams summer, like I said. Moving on. SAS Bowser's Castle 3. Now that it's out in tour, I want this to be the next track. I don't want it to be Vanilla Lake. Please, don't let it be Vanilla Lake. I don't want it, please. And then finally, for the one Nitro track we have, Piranha Plant Cove. I have no doubt that they're going to make at least one more new Nitro track, but since this is the only one we have, I'm going to have to slot it here. Again, assuming the prefix leak is still somewhat accurate. It could very well not be, for all I know. This is my guess based on all of this. Now for Wave 6. Apparently, according to the prefix leak, both cups would start with a Tour City track, but we don't have any more city tracks, so I'm gonna put placeholders there, aka guesses that I won in there, rather than actual Tour City tracks, again, because we're all out. We're also out in Nitro tracks, so I will be filling those spots with pre-existing tracks I want back as well. So, let's start with the Acorn Cup. First track that I chose is Woohoo Loop. It's been data mined in Tor, I believe, and I just want Woohoo Loop and or Mako Woohoo back. These were so special in Mario Kart 7 for being Mii-themed Mario Kart tracks. And Mii's at the current moment are being underutilized on the Switch, so having this in the Booster Course Pass would bring back their popularity. And like, who doesn't like Mii's? Secondly, it calls for a Wii track, but it can also be a Double Dash track, according to most theorists for Wave 6. So, I chose Mushroom Bridge from Double Dash, but it could also be DK Mountain, Daisy Circuit, Dry Ruins, and that's all the guesses I have for that. They could also fill out the entire rest of the cup, but that's highly unlikely. Moving on to personal guesses, since we don't have any more Nitro tracks at the moment. DS Airship Fortress. Give me 1 second, I just gotta adjust my camera real quick. Alright. DS Airship Fortress. This is an iconic track. It's inspired off of the Super Mario Bros. 3 airships that you go into to fight the Koopalings. This track is freaking awesome. I played this on Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart 7, and I am still blown away by it today. This needs to come back, Nintendo. Finally, for the last track, I chose Shy Guy Bazaar from 3DS because I had no more picks that I wanted. It wouldn't fit as the best last track option considering I just brought up Airship Fortress, but it is the last track of the Mushroom Cup. I think the last track of the Mushroom Cup in Mario Kart 7. I think I have that right. I don't quite remember. I haven't played Mario Kart 7 in a long time, but this track is still very cool. It's Mario Bros. 2 themed, based on Subcon of all places. Now onto the Spiny Shell Cup. As much as I hate to say it, Vanilla Lake, if it were to go somewhere, should be here. Like, I don't want a cup with 4 rainbow roads in it, and this would start us off with some variety. After this, Dino Dino Jungle from Double Dash. The last one that I haven't mentioned. Well, I have, but many minutes ago. That's not the point. Since that and Vanilla Lake were both advertised in Coconut Mall, why not put them in the same cup? Up next, 3DS Bowser's Castle. Now, this, I don't think it's gonna make it in, because there's supposed to be a Nitro track before the last one, but there haven't been any new Nitro tracks. So why not this one? We only have one Bowser's Castle, and my prediction from earlier would still leave us with 2. Let's top a third one on there. Why not? Bowser's Castles are scary but cool. Finally, Wii Rainbow Road. You knew this was gonna be here. And that's it for my track predictions, guys. Now, before I go, I want to bring up extra characters to be added to the Booster Course Pass. So in Wave 4, we got Birdo, and now on the character select screen, there's 5 empty slots. Now, I'm going to go over who I personally think are going to be in each of those slots. Wave 5, I think there's going to be 2 characters added, and Wave 6, I think there's going to be 3. Let's start with Wave 5. They're going to add, I believe, Diddy Kong and PD Piranha. PD Piranha because he fits with the theme of Piranha Plant Cove, and Diddy Kong because he's a series staple who, for some weird reason, is not in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe already. So, after those 2, we still have 3 left for Wave 6. So the 3 characters that I think are going to make it into Wave 6 are Pauline, Kamek, and Funky Kong. For Pauline, she is literally the damsel in distress from the original Donkey Kong, who Mario tried to save. And then, ever since Super Mario Odyssey, she's gotten far more popularity and recognition. So it would feel weird not to have her in this game. For Kamek, who was originally supposed to be a racer in Mario Kart 64, but was replaced with Donkey Kong at the last second. And for some reason, he's never gotten a chance to race since. So bringing him here would finally make his wish come true. Does Kamek have wishes? I don't know. And finally, Funky Kong. Funky Kong is the fan favorite from Mario Kart Wii. He had the best stats, and he was the raddest guy on the road. I also wanted to go over the possibility of items being added to 8 Deluxe as part of Booster Course Pass, because there's a lot of items in past games that have never made it back since. But I think there is a possibility, since there was an update after Wave 4 where people were allowed to customize the items they got from item boxes in versus races. This is huge because that means there's a possibility that they could be adding new items. And honestly, I think that's a really fun idea. Why not bring back the fake item box? Bring back the heart, the Yoshi egg, the Bowser shell, the giant banana, maybe even the Hell block, the thundercloud. I don't know. I don't have any guesses for these coming back because I think it would be fun to get any of them back. Me and the Yoshis would like to thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have any thoughts on what tracks will show up in Waves 5 or 6, leave your thoughts down in the comments section. Thank you guys. And remember, it was just a theory.